NASCAR rival Brad Keselowski. Sometimes you just don't like a guy. Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski have battled hard on and off the track. Photo by LAT PHOTOGRAPHIC. The decade-long rivalry between Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch is set to add another chapter this weekend, as both will be racing for their second Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series championship at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Both drivers broke into NASCAR in the early 2000s and took an immediate disliking to each other. As a result, they've raced each other with a chip on their shoulders that has often led to off-track squabbling. Busch didn't mince words when asked about it on Thursday during Championship Race Media Day at the Lowe's Hotel in Miami Beach. "Sometimes you just done in number 39, D like a guy," Busch said. "Fact of the matter. I never ran into Matt Kenseth. I done in number 39, T think Matt Kenseth ever ran into me. There is a respect factor out there on the racetrack, and you can certainly do a better job sometimes when you in number 39. Around some of those guys that you may or may not necessarily like, but as once a wise man told me, I think it was Chase Elliott, I race those how they race me." That answer came moments after Keselowski offered a much more politically correct take on their strained relationship. "I haven't really thought about it," Keselowski said. "I think looking through this weekend there's 4 of us up here on this stage, and for probably both of us it's not enough to beat each other. We've got to beat everyone to win the championship. From my perspective, it would be a little bit foolish to get caught up with any one person. I do think that both of us are fortunate to have great cars, great teams, and when you run up at the front a lot things are going to happen. I feel like where we're at in the sport right now, we are both going to be here for a long time to come." If you looked across the field, everyone has had some run-ins with each other. Probably all 4 of us have probably run into each other through the course of our careers. That's part of the fun of the sport as well. The two first met during a Truck Series event at Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis in 2001. Keselowski says he high and received a cold shoulder. Busch doesn't remember it that way. Regardless, they both eventually made it to the Cup Series. They've had notable run-ins on the track, most notably at Watkins Glen in 2012, and never stopped trading jabs since. When Keselowski offered the take on Twitter that NASCAR needed to rein in Toyota's horsepower advantage, Busch responded with s.t.f.u. That's the kind of relationship they have. Politicking in NASCAR isn't exactly new. The way it's aired and consumed in the social media era is. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series has yet to officially take the green flag, but a war. Busch used to have a similarly antagonistic relationship with Kevin Harvick, but that has faded over the past several years. The two even admitted to enjoying each other's company during the countrywide media tour over the past several days. "That's weird," Busch said. "I think it had something to do with kids a little bit. We were still mad at each other when he first had Keelan, but after a few years, it got better and better. This week, actually, though, when we were doing the media stuff in New York, we were kind of like high school buddies joking around and stuff and making fun of the other 2 guys. It was weird. You know? Kevin and I, friends? But I guess we've grown to respect each other and what each other has done and where we've been the last 10 years with one another. So, that's just a matter of evolution or us growing up." Harvick agreed. "You have to look at life, and ask yourself what is worth it," Harvick said of his previous feud with Busch. "I respect all 3 of these guys. I respect Kyle. I like racing with Kyle. Off the racetrack, we have a off-the-track relationship because Harrison Burton, KHI client, drives his trucks. And the last thing you want to do is say something embarrassing, and you have to explain that to your son." So with that in mind, does Busch have any hope that he can similarly reconcile with Keselowski someday? "Probably not," Busch said. "He's just too different. They've all been here before, and they're acting like it too. That is perhaps the best way to sum up Media Day for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Championship weekend on Thursday. By Matt Weaver. Racing, NASCAR Cup, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup, NASCAR.